June 12, 2026. Right now, at this very moment, history is being made on Wall Street. Elon Musk's SpaceX just went public on the Nasdaq, ticker SPXC. Share price $135. Total money raised $75 billion. Let that number sink in. $75 billion. That is 3 times more than Saudi Aramco, which held the record for the largest IPO in history for 7 years. SpaceX just shattered it. The company is now valued at $1.78 trillion. That's larger than Tesla, larger than the entire GDP of most countries on Earth, and it just became available for everyday Americans to buy for the very first time. Thousands of SpaceX engineers, cafeteria workers, and employees who took stock options instead of salary, they woke up as millionaires this morning. And Elon Musk, he may have just crossed $1 trillion in personal net worth, making him the first human being in history to reach that number. But here is the question that matters for your money. Is SpaceX the investment opportunity of your lifetime, or is this the most dangerous trap in stock market history? Because some of the most respected analysts on Wall Street say the stock is worth $63 per share, less than half the IPO price. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to give you the complete picture, the bulls, the bears, the hidden financials, and exactly what I think you should do. Stay until the end, because the last thing I tell you could save you or make you tens of thousands of dollars. Let's go.
For 24 years, SpaceX was untouchable. Private, secretive, available only to billionaires and insider investors. The last time regular investors could buy SpaceX shares on the secondary market, before today, the price was $832 per share, and you had to be an accredited investor with $1 million net worth just to get in the door. Today, all of that changed. SpaceX priced at exactly $135 per share. It raised $75 billion, shattering the previous record set by Saudi Aramco in 2019 by nearly 3 times. But here's what makes this IPO different from every other in history. SpaceX deliberately set aside 30% of its shares, about $22.5 billion worth, specifically for retail investors, for ordinary Americans, for people like you. The normal allocation for retail investors in a big IPO is 5 to 10%. SpaceX tripled that. So this is not just the biggest IPO in history, it's the most democratized IPO in history. Now, what exactly did you just get the chance to buy? Because most people think they know SpaceX, but almost nobody understands what this company actually is right now. And when you find out, you'll understand why the valuation debate is so intense. Most people hear SpaceX and think rockets, Elon Musk, Mars. But when you buy SPCX stock today, you are not just buying a rocket company. You are buying 3 completely different businesses bundled into one stock. Business number 1, SpaceX launches. This is the rocket side. SpaceX conducted more than 80% of all global rocket launches last year. They are the dominant force in putting things into space for NASA, the Pentagon, commercial satellites, and private missions. Business number 2, Starlink. This is the golden goose. Starlink is a satellite internet service with over 9 million subscribers worldwide. It generates most of SpaceX's revenue. Last year alone, Starlink doubled its profit to $4.4 billion. Think about that. While the rocket business loses money, Starlink is printing it. Business number 3, xAI. This is Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company, the maker of Grok, the AI chatbot that competes with ChatGPT. SpaceX merged with xAI earlier this year. But here's the catch with xAI. It lost $6.4 billion last year. That's billion with a B. So what you're actually buying is a profitable internet satellite company, a dominant but expensive rocket business, and an AI moonshot that's burning billions of dollars right now. Whether that combination is worth $1.78 trillion is the question every investor must answer before putting a single dollar in. Let's look at the numbers. Before we get into whether you should buy, let's talk about what happened to the people who were already inside. Polymarket estimates that today's IPO created approximately 4,000 brand new millionaires. These are not hedge fund managers. These are not Wall Street insiders. These are SpaceX employees, engineers, technicians, and, according to reports, even cafeteria workers who accepted stock options as part of their compensation over years of employment. A cafeteria worker who took equity 5 years ago, when SpaceX was valued at a fraction of today's price, may have woken up this morning with more money than they'll earn in a lifetime of work. This is the power of equity compensation, and it's one of the most important wealth-building lessons hiding inside this story that nobody is talking about. But back to the bigger picture. Let's talk about the man behind it all and why today may have made him the first trillionaire in human history. Elon Musk already held the title of the world's richest person. But today, with SpaceX going public at a $1.78 trillion valuation and Musk holding a significant personal stake in the company, analysts believe he may have crossed $1 trillion in personal net worth. $1 trillion. To put that in perspective, if you spent $1 million every single day since the birth of Jesus Christ, you still would not have spent $1 trillion. Now, some people celebrate this, some people are angry about it, but here's what matters for your financial life. Musk's wealth is not sitting in a bank account. It is tied to the performance of SpaceX, Tesla, and his other companies. If SpaceX stock underperforms, his net worth falls. Which brings us to the most uncomfortable question in today's story, the question that could protect your money or help you make a life-changing investment decision. What is SpaceX actually worth? Morningstar, one of the most respected investment research firms in the United States, they published their analysis of SpaceX's financials this week. Their fair value estimate for SPCX, $63 per share. That is less than half of the $135 IPO price. According to their model, only the most optimistic possible scenario, which they put at a 7% probability, justifies anything close to the IPO price. Now, why would Morningstar be so bearish on the most exciting company in the world? Here's the math. Last year, SpaceX made $18.7 billion in total revenue, but it lost $4.9 billion after XAI losses are included. At a $1.78 trillion valuation, investors are paying over 50 times the company's annual revenue. Compare that to Facebook's IPO, considered one of the most aggressive ever, which priced at about 10 times revenue. SpaceX is asking for 5 times more than that. That means for the IPO to be justified, SpaceX would need to grow revenue massively and become enormously profitable over the next decade. Is that possible? Absolutely. Is it guaranteed? Absolutely not. And here is the other side of the argument, because I promised you the full picture.
Here is why millions of investors are excited and why the bulls believe $135 is cheap. Argument number 1, Starlink is just getting started. Right now, Starlink has 9 million subscribers. Analysts project this could reach 50 to 100 million within a decade. At $100 per subscriber per month, that's $10 billion to $20 billion in annual profit from Starlink alone. Argument number 2, space-based AI data centers. This is where things get wild. SpaceX is planning to build orbital data centers, massive computing infrastructure running artificial intelligence in space. Why space? No heat dissipation problems. Solar power is free, and you can serve the entire planet from a single location. If this works, the revenue potential is almost incalculable. Argument number 3, government contracts and Golden Dome. The U.S. Pentagon is paying SpaceX billions to help build President Trump's Golden Dome missile defense shield. This is not optional government spending. National security contracts are some of the most reliable revenue streams in existence. Argument number 4, the Nasdaq 100 forced buying. Here is something most retail investors don't know. In about 15 days after listing, SpaceX enters the Nasdaq 100 index. When that happens, every single QQQ index fund in the world is forced to buy SPCX stock automatically. Analysts estimate this will trigger $22 to $27 billion in mechanical buying. If you own SPCX before that rebalancing, you could see a significant price jump simply because index funds have no choice but to buy. This is one of the most interesting near-term catalysts in the stock. So, after everything we've looked at, what should you actually do?
All right, here is the honest, no-hype answer. I'm not going to tell you to blindly buy SpaceX because it's exciting, and I'm not going to tell you to avoid it because critics say it's overpriced. Here is how to think about it. Option 1. Buy a small position today. If you believe in Elon Musk's vision and you have money you can afford to have locked up for 5 to 10 years, buying a small position at $135 is reasonable. The key word is small. Never put more than 2 to 5% of your total portfolio into a single speculative stock. The Nasdaq 100 rebalancing in 2 weeks is a real near-term catalyst. Option 2. Wait for the dust to settle. New IPOs are notoriously volatile. The first 30 to 90 days often see wild price swings as institutional investors take profits. If the stock dips to $90 or $100, you get the same company at a much better valuation. Patience in IPO investing has historically been rewarded. Option 3. Buy through an ETF. If you want SpaceX exposure without the single stock risk, certain space technology ETFs will add SPXC to their holdings after listing. This gives you diversified exposure alongside Rocket Lab, Planet Labs, and other space companies. Option 4. Watch and learn. If you have no money to invest right now, that is completely fine. Watch how SPXC trades over the next 90 days. Study it. Learn from it. There will be another opportunity. There always is. The worst thing you can do? Buy blindly because of fear of missing out, because you saw it on social media, because your friend is buying it. Emotional investing is how ordinary Americans lose money in historic IPOs. Knowledge, like what you now have, is what separates wealth builders from the crowd. You now know more about SpaceX than 95% of the people buying it today. Use that.
If you've decided to invest, here is exactly how to buy SpaceX stock right now. Step 1. Open your brokerage app. SpaceX is available on Robinhood, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, SoFi, and E-Trade. Step 2. Search for the ticker SPXC. SPXC. Step 3. Place your order. You can use a market order to buy immediately or a limit order to set a maximum price you're willing to pay. Step 4. Start with a small amount. Seriously, no matter how excited you are, start small. You can always buy more later. And Step 5. Forget about it for at least a year. IPO stocks need time to find their true value. Short-term trading on a stock this new is gambling, not investing. That's it. Simple, powerful, life-changing if done wisely. If this video gave you clarity on the biggest financial event of 2026, hit that like button right now. It helps more Americans find information they actually need. Subscribe to Wealth Buy for daily breakdowns of what's moving markets and what it means for your wealth. And drop a comment. Are you buying SPXC today or waiting? I read every single one. The future of wealth starts here. This is Wealth Buy.